Alright guys, so I got the chicken leg quarters spice rub, and on the smoker set at 250. I got the probe in there. I'll monitor the temperature while we're cooking the rest of the meal. But like I said, I got it out here on the Pit Boss smoky at 250. It should take about an hour or so, the size of these leg quarters. And then we're going to move inside. Hey guys, fork on the road. Getting ready to start my first cooking show. Should be interesting. So where I'm at right now is I already got the chicken with a nice spice rub outside on the smoker, set at 250. I got a probe in it, so I'll keep watching the internal temperature of that chicken as I'm cooking here. But I got some video of it on there, and I'll put some other video up as well of the chicken out there on the smoker. And then from this point forward, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video of me basically in the restaurant business, what we would call doing the mise en place for this dish. I am going to prep all the vegetables and get them seasoned and coated with oil. And I got the oven set at 450 or 425 down here. I will get those roasting in the oven while the chicken's cooking. And then as the chicken's cooking and the vegetables are roasting, we are going to make a pan sauce. It's a very simple, classical French kind of dish. It's one of the first things they teach you in culinary school after you learn your basic knife skills and stuff like that. When they first start actually teaching you to cook, one of the first dishes they'll usually teach you is a dish similar to this. A simple roasted chicken with some kind of a simple roasted vegetables, so you get to work on your knife skills and your roasting skills. It's kind of an intro. And I think, it's probably a good place for us to start. And again, I'm going to do a voiceover. After I finish the intro here, my plans are, if this works correctly, is I will set up the camera over here, do a complete run through the recipe, prepping all the vegetables and the herbs and getting everything roasting, and including plating the dish. And then I will do a voiceover explaining all the steps. And then at the end of the video, I will do another kind of something like this, where I'll sit down maybe with the dish and we'll try it together. And we'll have a little after cooking conversation. And this is the first one, so we'll see how it goes. Again, thank you guys for even watching. To me, I feel ridiculous, but hey, listen, if Tim could be out here doing this, I don't see why I can't. So again, let's start this up. Thank you. All right, guys, so what I'm doing here, starting off with the butternut squash, I am peeling that, and then I'm going to do a 1/2-inch dice on all the vegetables. So like I said, we're starting off with the butternut. I'm going to do a little dicey dice on this. And we're going to take all the vegetables after we get them diced, and we're going to mix them with extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, and we're going to roast them in my little oven in the camper there. Okay, now we're going to move on to the turnip. Take the top and the bottom off the turnip, and then we're going to peel it. And take the skin off. Beautiful. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a 1/2-inch dice, get it into the bowl. These are beautiful root vegetables. I went by the farmer's market yesterday next to, there's a barbecue place down the street with a farmer's market. But anyway, yeah, the roots are here. So there we go, little dice on the parsnips. Now we're going to move on to our green top carrots. Always try to buy your carrots with the top still attached. They last longer, they're fresher. For some reason, they have a better flavor. They look cooler. I'm going to grab 1, 2, 3 there for Poppy. Boom. Those are his for his snackies. And the rest of them we're going to cut on a bias, which means on an angle. And again, we're going to try to keep them about the same size as the rest of the vegetables. Important when you're cutting vegetables, when you're cooking them, that you try to keep them all the same size so they cook approximately, the same way. We have a nice rutabaga here. Same thing like the turnip. We'll take off the top. And then we'll grab the bottom, boom, and peel off the sides. Rutabagas might be my favorite of all the root vegetables. They have a sweetness to them. It's like a parsnip with a little sweet aftertaste. Love them. But anyway, boom, we're peeling the skin off of those. Give that a little half-inch dice like the rest of them. Right in the garbage, clean as you go. All right. There we go. Look at those knife skills. Look at it. Haven't picked up a knife in a while. These are our mushrooms, cutting them in half. I left some of them whole, the smaller ones, and the ones that were bigger, I cut them, like I said, to be about the same size as the rest of the vegetables. And now that I got all the veggies in the bowl, I'm going to add a drizzle my nizzle of extra virgin olive oil and season them with salt and pepper. And here we go. There's the olive oil. There we go. Pour a little out for my homies that didn't make it. Pour a little out for my homeboy Sarasota Tim. And a little pink sea salt, the fancy stuff. Shaky, shaky, shaky. And now we're going to add a little black pepper. It might look like I'm using a lot of black pepper, but I'm not. It's just it doesn't come out that much as the salt, so always got to shake it a little bit more. And there we go with the black pepper. Now we'll give it a nice mix. And then after that, we'll throw it onto a foil-lined sheet pan into my oven in the camper here at like 400, 425 for probably about 40, 45 minutes. You know, I just watch them and I see when they start getting that caramelization on them. It's all about kind of watching. Now I'm going to start the prep, or the mise en place, as we would say in a restaurant, for the pan sauce. We'll start with our shallots, which are just bougie onions. I'm going to peel it like you would an onion. Again, anytime you have a recipe that calls for shallots and you don't have shallots, you can't get shallots, or you don't want to spend money on shallots because they are more expensive, you could always use onions. Same difference. So I'm peeling those, and then we're going to give them a little julienne. Julienne is just like a kind of sliver cut. And I'm going to show you real quick with working with onions and shallots. One thing you kind of want to do is there's a core, and you're going on an angle right there, and you get the core out. And then boom, you slice it into julienne strips. Nicey, nicey, nice. Still got a little bit of the knife skills left. Nice to know. And then we're going to move on to our fresh garlic cloves. Same thing, get that core out of the shallot. Bam. There's the garlic. I'm going to separate out some cloves, 4 or 5 cloves for this recipe. Put the rest aside for another use. And a little trick with these things to peel the skin off them is just give a little bang with the back of your knife, and the skin will peel right off. As again, clean as you go. One thing you learn as a professional chef, clean as you go. Here we go, a little smack on with the knife. Bam. Peel that skin. Bam, bam, bam. Get the skin off. One more. And then once we got all the skin, we're just going to give it a little rough chop. Bam. Start off like that. Oh, I didn't know it hit it. Like I said, we're just going to do a little rough chop on the garlic. And now we're going to move on to our Italian parsley. Take all your stems out. You just want the leaves, and then just give it a little rough chop as well. You don't want to hammer it. You don't want to get it to the point where they start to brown on you. The trick with herbs is a sharp knife, and you don't hammer them. Just like I said, nice little choppy, choppy chop. And that is basically, once we have the lemon, here we go, we have the lemon coming up. Going to cut that in half because we're just going to use the juice for the sauce we're making. We're going to squeeze that in. You're not seeing things. It's not deja vu. I don't know what happened there, but there we go with the carrot again. I was going to use 2, but then decided, I'll use that one for garnish. All right, now we're starting the sauce. So the first thing I'm doing now is I'm taking the chicken that we cooked on the smoker, and I am searing it in a saute pan on the stove. I want to get some flavor from that chicken. You didn't see it on this video, but I did both sides. I flipped it over. I want to get flavor from that chicken into that pan before I start making the sauce. To help me make the sauce. So once I got the chicken in there and I got it sizzling a little bit, got some of that flavor, I pull it out, and now I'm going to cook the sauce right in that same pan and use that flavor. Shallots and garlic go right in there. I'm going to sweat those out and kind of cook them on a medium heat. I don't want to brown them. That'll change the flavor of the sauce. I just want to sweat them. I want to cook them until they're soft and translucent. Let them pick up that flavor from the chicken. And then the next step, once we got them going nice and nice, once they're nice and translucent, and to the point where I want them to be, I'm going to add chicken stock to the pan. What we call deglazing. Basically, it's going to the liquid is going to hit that hot pan, and it's going to pull all those bits that are stuck to the pan into the stock, and all that flavor from the chicken and the garlic, the shallots are all going to come into that stock. Like I said, it's a cooking term called deglazing the pan. So right now, once the pan's deglazing, all I want to do now is we're going to reduce it down to the right consistency. I'm finishing it with butter, slowly whisking in some whole butter at the end. And then at the very, very end, once the butter is incorporated in, that's when I'm going to add my fresh parsley, salt and pepper. Make sure it's seasoned properly. The herbs, you don't want to cook with them. You don't want your herbs in there and let it simmer with the herbs. They will eventually get bitter. I dropped my whisk in there, give that a little rinsey too, and I'll be right back. That was quick. Here we go, I'm back. And there goes the fresh parsley right at the end. Once the parsley goes in, boom, give it a little whisk, and I turn off the heat because we are done. That parsley, I want it, like I said, right at the end, it's going to retain that fresh, herbaceous quality to it. And now I'm just going to hold the sauce to the side until we plate it. And that was quick. Here we go, we're plating. We got some nice mashed potatoes. We're going to scoop right onto the plate here. Beautiful. These are store-bought, but hey, what are you going to do? Nestled in, I made a little nestle there with my spoon, so I could nestle the root vegetables, which came out delicious. They came out so good. They roasted up so nice. But there we go. Add my root vegetables to the plate. Feeling hungry, so I think I might go in for one more scoop. What do you think? Poppy's going to share. There we go. Beautiful. Now we're going to finish the vegetables. We're going to give them a little drizzle of black truffle oil. It's going to really set off the earth tones of those root vegetables and mushrooms. A little drizzle of truffle oil at the end. Nice. And then we'll add our smoked chicken leg quarter right to the top of that. We'll present it right on top. Beautiful. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Look at what's going on over here. Could you imagine? In a camper. In a fucking camper. Oh, sorry. In a camper I cook this. Please. Alright, there's our beautiful pan sauce. Look at this. Look what's going on over here. Are you watching this? Are you watching what's going on over here? Are you looking at this? Tim, are you watching this? This whole meal, by the way, cost $6. So much for Tim's $23 steaks. Anywho, look what's going on here with this dish. Look at what's going on here with this dish. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? A little fresh parsley at the end. A little lemon wedge. $6. I'm eating like a king tonight. Look at this dish. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Anywho, I'll catch you on the next one.